so it gets poured.
I'm sorry, say that again?
It takes about 2 to 3 months, and then they do get a burial in forestry, which
So,
is right across the way from our parking lot.
and we pay for the burial, it looks like?
We've just changed how we do that. We used to hire a funeral home to do it, and now it's all being done in-house. We're fortunate enough to have a licensed funeral director on staff at the property, so it actually saves some money.
Okay, where are we burying?
Across the Potter's Field.
Oh, is it Potter's Field there?
Yes.
Because I know we also have a Potter's Field out in Lisbon, so we're just wondering where the cost, why we had the cost for that. Okay, also, on page 34, this isn't so much a question about the bill, but it mentions that we spent money for mosquito spraying. We've done, could maybe you can answer that, we've already started, just for the record so everyone knows. We've done, it looks like we've done 2 sprayings.
Yes, I believe I've gotten an email twice from Aaron that they want, we get notified as the health department and the helicopter's gonna go up so we can let the public know they call it.
Okay, and will we be having more spray? Are we planning on some more of those?
Yes, there will be more spraying, but
And
it's based on the traps and what they're seeing in the mosquito population and determine where they spray.
And we have a robocall system or something to notify the people in the areas that there's going to be spraying?
Normally it's notified via the newspaper that goes out. We notify the townships if the township chooses to use their system to notify the residents, they can do that.
So it's up to the township to notify, so if they don't do a robocall, we just hope people read it.
Well, we put it in the paper as well.
That's what I'm saying, we just hope they read it.
Is that just in the, I don't mean to interrupt, is that just like in the public notice section?
No.
It's usually
That's
in,
like-
It's usually like in the Burlington Times, it's in the second.
Oh, okay.
Section B, it's a 4x6 block ad.
Okay.
Because I live in Southampton, they always do a robocall, but I'm concerned for towns where they don't do that, that people are appropriately notified. Also, on page 76 at the very bottom, it says state tax, sanitary landfill. We get taxed even though we're a county facility, do you want to read it? Okay, I just want to know.
For solid waste going into the landfill, the haulers, the people that are generating the waste, bringing it in, we collect the tax and turn it over to the
So it's
state.
not our money?
It's not our money.
Okay, and then finally, I don't want to take too much of our time, in the expenditure list on page 12, there's some time for the health department for overtime. I was wondering where we're incurring overtime in the health department for what activity?
most of our overtime for the health department comes from 2 locations. One is our
From the what? Sorry.
from 2 different departments. We have a hazmat technician and a registered environmental health specialist that are on call 24/7, and so they do get beeper pay for the week for the union contract. And they get called out. Our hazmat technicians get called out anytime during the night. Same with our registered environmental health specialist. And then bumped into that also is overtime from the medical examiner's office.
You might want to just track the overtime and just
We've been.
No, I'm saying, I'm not criticizing it, I'm saying we might want to build it in to next year's budget.
Yes.
As a regular salary and wage expense as opposed to overtime, so that we can do more, it's easier for us to predict what our costs are going to be.
I'll let you know.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
That's the one?
That's
Okay.
it.
Any further comment on one? All in favor, so indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Just I noted mine.
Ayes noted. Is 8 just questions, or is that an abstention because you represent?
Exactly.
Okay. I'm going to take 8 up now if there's no further questions. Is there a motion to adopt resolution number 8? Second. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved by Freeholder Howard, second by Freeholder Carter. All in favor, so indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Abstain.
Okay, resolution is adopted. At this time, I've already moved for unanimous consent on the other items, so we've moved it, we've seconded it, let's vote it out. All in favor, so indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Resolutions are adopted. Freeholder Carter.
At this time, I like to move for unanimous consent of items number 10 through 18.
Moved by Freeholder Carter, is there a second? Second. Second by Freeholder Howard. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, so indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Resolution is adopted. Freeholder Belgard.
I would like to move for approval, resolution number 19.
Thank you. Moved by Freeholder Belgard, is there a second? Second by Freeholder Howard. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, so indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Resolution is adopted. Freeholder Howard.
Thank you, Director. Right now, to move by unanimous consent, resolutions number 20 through 29.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second?
Moved by Freeholder Howard, seconded by Freeholder Arthur. Any discussion?
I'd like to move for item number 24, remove from unanimous consent.
I'll second that.
All, any discussion? All in favor? Let's remove it first. All in favor, so indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Resolution is adopted. Freeholder Schwartz, please read this.
Yes, I have concern about, that there's a change order of $13,832.30 for Ranco. Ranco has a long experience of working with government agencies and doing contracting, and I have a concern that they've now presented us with a change order. I understand that the county official said that there had to be some more smoke heads, the marshal, whatever, said there had to be more smoke heads, but I think that Ranco should have known, should have built that into their original proposal. So I have concerns about that.
Anyone else? Hearing nothing, let's vote. Resolution 24. All in favor, so indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed?
Abstentions? Resolution is adopted. We will now vote resolutions 20 through 23, 25 through 29. All in favor, so indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Resolutions are adopted. Freeholder Schwartz.
I'd like to move for resolutions number 30 to 35, for unanimous, be considered for unanimous approval.
Thank you. Moved by Freeholder Schwartz. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Freeholder Howard. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, so indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Resolutions are adopted. At this time, I will take questions from the press.
I'm good tonight. No, I think not, thank you.
Thank you very much. At this time, we'll take public comment on any item. I'm going to go back to the list and work from there, and then when I'm done, anybody else wants to speak, just raise your hand. Come forward and speak. Timothy Carricasion.
Ladies and gentlemen of the board, thank you for hearing me. Mr. Donnelly, nice to see you again, sir.
Nice to see you, sir.
I'm employed with the Burlington County Department of Corrections. This Monday, I'm going to read a little bit nervous, and I don't usually get nervous.
That's okay, we get nervous too.
Okay, thank you. I feel better now. I know that my being here and speaking will have negative repercussions, but this needs to be addressed. I would like to bring your attention to a new directive that was imposed on Monday that eliminated an officer from going outside on his child break, regular break, or just to go outside and check on the family. This directive appears to be a form of punishment that is unfair and unjust. We have families that on my shift, I'm on the 3 to 11 shift, so I never see my kids. And unfortunately, the only time I get to talk to them is on my child break or 9 o'clock break. My wife is disabled and she cares for 3 little boys. So when they're acting up and I call, you know, Dad, we're sorry. And everything goes back to normal. But now I'm not going to have that opportunity since we're not allowed to go outside anymore. This directive is going to cause additional stress in an already stressful job, and it's going to create a hostile work environment amongst the officers. I just ask you to help us have some of our freedom back. Thank you.
Thank you. My recommendation is that you work this through the chain of command, so to speak, rather than with us, quite frankly. That's just a recommendation. I don't need you to proceed.
I'm sorry, I just had a question. I missed when you were speaking, so I was writing down. How long are the shifts?
Each 8-hour shift. As of right now, July 7th, we're going to do our 12-hour shift. So at that point, you're going to be locked in the building for 12 hours, breathing the same air, and you just want to go outside and get a fresh breath of fresh air, and you can't even do that. We do have to, on Monday it was told to us that we had to notify our supervisor that we were going out, and they had to give permission. It was told to me today that that is no longer available, that you're not allowed outside at all. So I've been told that the chain of command was addressed. I'm on vacation this week, I don't even know. I just got a phone call today and asked to come up there and tell him.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Courtney Amon. I know I'm pronouncing that name incorrectly.
Hey, you got it right this time.
I got it right the first time.
These faces I know, so that's okay. Good evening, Freeholders. My name is Courtney Amon. I'm a resident of Mount Laurel for the past 2 years. I'm about to conclude my 7th year teaching at BCIT, and for the past 2 years, the entire 692 days we've been without a contract, I have had the pleasure of serving my association as Vice President for the Medford campus. I can honestly say that I never quite understood the value of a union until I chose to run for office and was elected to this position by my peers. In this term of office, I have witnessed firsthand how union members' rights can protect them from any number of unjust practices. And while this is the second contract negotiation period I have experienced since I was hired, it is the first where I have had a front row seat and a deeper understanding of the process. In speaking with staff members more senior than myself, as you can see, there are many out there, I have come to learn that many feel that this is the most frustrating of any negotiations in the last 30 years. Some feel that morale is at its lowest, and they feel less valued than ever for the dedication and hard work that they demonstrate every day. Of course, in the past, money flowed freely and in abundance, whereas now we are all having to examine the depths of our pocketbooks a little more closely. Despite hard economic times, we have been told that the money required to pay us a fair settlement is within the district's budget, and that the difference between the 1.75% we were offered and what our negotiations team has agreed would be fair is under $60,000. That's less than $60,000 to bridge the gap and ensure that over 260 members, including teachers, teacher aides, counselors, secretaries, custodians, and maintenance, all can receive a fair contract in keeping with the settlements reached by other school districts in the county. Cynthia Adams, our association president, questioned the Freeholders' involvement in or influence over our contract negotiations when she spoke at your public meeting on May 8th. For those of us who were able to attend, we certainly found that meeting very interesting. I would have liked to share some direct quotes from that evening. However, I was unable to find a YouTube video corresponding to that date. I am curious why this video has not been posted when the previous 4 recordings of public meetings were all uploaded to YouTube within 4 days or less. Without the transparency and accurate records provided by that video, I am left to only summarize from memory. It seemed that Freeholder Ardor was very concerned with reminding Freeholder Schwartz that she, Schwartz, had supported the settlement with CWA at 1.75%, since Freeholder Schwartz, at that May 8th meeting, during her comments, appeared supportive of BCITEA continuing to seek a settlement closer to the average of other school districts in the county, which would mean 2.0% or higher. This brief discussion was followed by County Administrator Drayton insisting that the only person responsible for our contract negotiations was Dr. Donald Lucas. However, that was not until after he mentioned that the 1.75% and its perceived fairness was based on the settlement with the largest bargaining unit in the county, CWA. My main concerns stem from these comments at the end of the public meeting on May 8th. Upon Mr. Drayton's suggestion that we speak directly to Dr. Lucas, our president, Cynthia Adams, stood up and made the phone call to him immediately. The response we received from Dr. Lucas was that he would speak to the Board of Education and get back to Mrs. Adams the following day. Well, the exciting news we received on Thursday, May 9th, was that Dr. Lucas had no new information that would settle the stalemate. You can imagine our disappointment. We certainly plan on bringing our concerns to Dr. Lucas and the Board of Education publicly at the BCIT Board of Education meeting on Thursday, May 30th. But we would like to be able to refer to accurate comments made by the Freeholders. Will the recording of the May 8th public meeting ever be posted? If not, would the Freeholders all like to explain on the record one last time that they are not involved in our negotiations, and that if our district can afford to settle with us for more than 1.75%, that the Board of Education does, in fact, have that power to do so, without any influence or interference from the Freeholder Board, or any concern for what settlement other county workers have received. After all, we are not CWA. We do not work for the county college. We work in a high school environment with high school students, the future of our county, every day, dealing